And we're live. We're in. Welcome to Minot Talk. It's Thursday. It's actually 9 a.m. for once when Jonathan's gone. I had a podcast start on time. And I am joined today by a special guest, a good friend of mine, Kasey Breuer from Animal Empowerment League here in Minot. Kasey, thanks for coming on today.
Yeah,
I look forward to having some good discussion about some stuff today.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
We're going to, we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, on Tuesday, there was a city council meeting. And Kasey, you follow the city council a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay, good. So we can break that down. Unfortunately, we weren't live yesterday or Tuesday. Was going to have Lisa Hermosillo on, obviously, with council on Tuesday. Was going to go on yesterday. Then with the weather, we just didn't want to risk it. So we're here today. I'm here with Kasey. And we're going to start out, do a little recap of the city council meeting. There was a big story about the Big M building that took place. Had some updates on that finally. On top of that, there was also, actually relating to that at the start, there was a follow-up to the M&S concession liquor license that was at the Trax building, which was also owned by Epic Companies. That is going to go to auction from the city. And one interesting thing on that, just a quick note, they're going to have no minimum bid on that. So
yeah, I noticed that.
That means that anyone can throw a number out there, and like I think it was either Alderman Pittner or Alderman Blessum said at the meeting, it's going to give a good chance to kind of gauge the market. Mm-hmm. After that, we'll go over a little bit of the pound situation, which Kasey has a little bit of knowledge on as well, which had a big fiasco on council on Tuesday night, which if you didn't get a chance to watch it, that was a really interesting council meeting play out. And then we're going to dive into the Animal Empowerment League and talk about what you do, who you are, and a lot of what your role is here in town.
Sure.
Before we dive into city council, who is Kasey Breuer?
Well, we're going to open that can of worms.
I am. We're going to start here.
Yeah, I'm the executive director and the dog trainer also with Animal Empowerment League. And I mean, at this point, we're a very small organization. We're in our 6th year now going into. So we're a baby in the nonprofit sector. But things have been moving and grooving. We're, I think, going to break that 50,000 mark where we have to file a more official 990 coming up. So before we just got to send in the little tiny postcards. And it was a piece of cake, yeah. But I mean, I'm doing everything. I'm cleaning dogs and cats and taking care of the admin. And this year we finally reached out to a bookkeeper because it was like, all right.
It was starting to get to the point where...
Well, it was already at that point. Yeah, I was like, I have to back up here and admit that I can't do everything.
It's okay to ask for help sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, that's on the move and getting better. And, but as far as like meeting with whoever we need to meet with, obviously doing interviews, like, I mean, everything.
The whole 9 yards.
On my plate at the moment, yeah. But we have a good group of volunteers that have been helping, like cats primarily. I don't have to do as much with. If there's medications, I'm in charge of that. But
fair. So you guys have a pretty good network of volunteers that help you guys out.
Yeah, I'd say we're a pretty small group still, but it's growing. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you look? And before we'll get into this more later, I think. But do you expect to expand more coming up soon?
I think so, yeah.
That's exciting. That's fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, we'll start. So there's a little teaser for you folks watching. We'll dive into the city council meeting now. At the start, it was really not. Actually, before that, at the 4 o'clock, there was a special budgetary meeting just to cover that really fast. A couple things that happened there. I guess the big thing that I took away was financial director David Lakefield was giving a presentation. He was talking about a lot of the reserves the city's been spending in the last couple of years, which not necessarily a bad thing, but if we want to continue to keep our property tax mill levy where it is, and if we want to continue to have a flat rate of that going forward in the next 2-3 years, and those expenses stay neutral or expectantly probably go up, you're going to likely start seeing Minot's reserves drop below the threshold that the state requires for a city to have. But we still have a lot of time on that to get things figured out, whether that be finding extra things to cut from the city budget or finding alternate sources of revenue, which probably just better way, find a new way to tax us, I guess, but for lack of a better term. But on top of that, there's a few different alternatives that they have to figure that out. Coming up next year at the state level, there's going to be some budgetary constraints anyways. So it'll be interesting to see not just how Minot, but the state in general starts to focus and kind of pivot into that direction. But definitely expect coming up this summer and into the next couple years that you're going to continue to hear about the financial impact on the city of Minot. But going into the regular city council meeting, it was a quiet meeting. It was going to go short. It was like a half hour. It was pretty much ready to wrap up.
Yeah, right. Oh gosh.
The big thing from
I thought
it.
so.
Yeah, exactly. So again, there was the M&S liquor license going up for auction. That was the big thing at the start. After that, the next real highlight was the Big M conversation. And turns out the city of Minot is going to hire some outside attorneys to help with the Big M situation because it has just got so
messy.
Yeah, it's just muddled. There's so many layers to it. You have the old owners you're still worrying about. You have the current investors that are still invested in the property. You have construction liens. You have back taxes. I know there's more than that too. And it is turning into a hot mess. And it's come to the point where they're getting some outside legal assistance on the situation. So hopefully that can start going and progressing a little quicker into the future because that Big M building is... It's big.
Yeah, it's a big eyesore right now.
It can be. And, well, unfortunately, downtown has a couple of those. And on more the hospital side I'm referring to than anything else.
Yeah,
but
right.
If we can get the Big M situated, I think Minot would be sitting in a good spot at that stage. So we'll see how that plays out. Still a work in progress. But once again, like when a couple months ago you saw those barriers come down on the outside.
Yep.
We're starting to see some more progress happening with the Big M. So I just want to see an owner take over that really wants to develop it. I'd love to, because back in the day, they used to have like a restaurant on the top floor.
Oh, I did not know that.
I'd love to see that come back.
That would be cool.
That'd be epic. Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
Pun intended.
Yes, we'll go with it. We'll go with that one. Generally, I do that intentionally. That one wasn't. So, on to the real exciting part of city council. Was the final item on their agenda, and that was discussing the pound situation, it was to put out an RFP for services for the new pound contract, which technically ended at the end of 2025, but it's been extended through the end of this month with Surf Valley Animal Shelter to continue to provide the pound service. And actually on Tuesday, something interesting happened prior to the city council meeting. That was at the Ward County Commissioners meeting where they approved a plan for the county it's a 6-month interim plan, but pretty much to continue services this is maybe simplifying it a little bit, but to provide services for the city of Minot while they're setting up this new system.
Yeah. Essentially buying them time, I think.
That was kind of my big takeaway from it. Because especially it was a unanimous 5-0 in the Ward County Commission, and then you go to City Council, and before we get into that debacle, they were referencing that the Ward County Commission voted for this to effectively allow their plan to go forward that Minot was working on now.
Right.
And do you know a lot about the Ward County plan off the top of your head?
As far as like where they're going to be and stuff?
Yeah.
Or
And I saw they were going to have like 10 dogs and 10 cats they could facilitate up to, I believe. And they're going to be in the county here. Obviously, it's Ward County. They're going to be here in town, I meant to say there.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to have, it's still getting set up itself, but it's a good process that they're starting there.
Yeah, I do have quite a bit of back knowledge on it. So I actually believe if it goes the way that it's looking, there would actually be, I believe, 35 cat spaces.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Is that with the city plan? Or that's with the county plan?
So you're talking about the new RFP being the city plan?
We can transition to that, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm talking about like their emergency plan right now.
Okay, that's actually better. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the dogs would have 12 spaces.
12, okay.
And that had to do with like how the kennels are sold.
Sure.
You could buy just 10, but they come in packs of whatever.
So it's just easier to buy.
Just round it up to 12.
At that stage.
Yeah.
Buy a dozen, call it a day at that point. Well, that's awesome. I'm also looking forward a little bit too. We're making sure that the city of Minot's covered in this, but not just the city of Minot, the whole county is, because the Surf Valley Animal Shelter provided that service effectively for all of Ward County and I believe a couple neighboring counties too.
When they were the pound?
When they were the pound, yes.
I don't think that's true.
No,
actually.
I'm a little off on that. Are they just City of Minot?
It's really kind of hard to follow, to be honest. About as hard as the city council meeting. It was, yeah. So the shelter originally, like way back when they were founded, was meant to be the county pound.
Sure.
And so because there was no place for county animals.
Sure.
And honestly, through the years, especially the last 5 years, Minot's really gone backwards. The county's gone backwards. We've lost what we had for county. Last year, I know for sure there was no county contract with anyone. We actually ended up taking in 3 county dogs. And that brought up lot of...
I was gonna say, you had some issues with that.
Yeah. And it's been resolved at this point, but it
created a mess last year.
It was eye-opening, I think, for the county, really, because they were like, oh, crap. Like...
This can actually spiral into something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, there wasn't anything for the county, really. And then the shelter was the pound facility for the city of Minot. And, yeah, so, I mean, it like I said, it's hard to follow, but...
And actually, comment from Ward County Commissioner Miranda Schuler. The Ward County Commission leased a space to Minot Police Department for them to run a temporary dog facility.
Perfect.
So there's a little bit more clarity on that. So thank you, Miranda, for that one. Also, side note, we got to get you back on the show soon. But and then the Minot Veterinary Clinic was acting as the city pound for
many years,
long time, up until a little over a year ago now. And they, for whatever reason, they had been there, done that, and they were ready to move on and progress away from providing that service. And Souris Valley Animal Shelter took it over effectively at the start of 2025.
Right.
And fast forward to this year, when that contract was up, they were expecting a longer-term extension. And just to simplify it, the city didn't want to give them that, at least at this point. They wanted to go month to month and then work on something a little bit later. We've gone over that. There's articles out there. We've hashed that one out. But now, come to city council, and after they've been working now for a couple weeks, which is a very fast turnaround for the city to get this back on an agenda item. In theory, this was just an open and shut kind of thing where they pass the item and it goes on to the RFP and goes out into the public, which, spoiler alert, it is.
Right.
But there was a lot that went into that situation. First off, you had Alderman Mike Hayes. This is after it got motion brought to the table. Alderman Hayes motions to suspend the rules of the council to effectively switch things up and give the contract back to Souris Valley Animal Shelter. And the real interesting caveat to the whole thing is the term suspend, because this got into a parliamentary spiral, effectively.
It was really hard to watch.
Of wording and wordsmithing and city ordinances, and not just city ordinances, but then Robert's Rules of Order on top of that. So because Alderman Hayes wanted to suspend it, there was already a motion on the floor to approve the current item. So the council had to vote on that before another motion could be brought forward. And so that motion to approve the RFP going out into the public failed 3-4, which then the item's pretty much just up in the air.
Yeah.
And so that's when the motion happened. And now is when you have a lot of discussion back and forth. You had Alderman Mike Blessum, who called a few points of order. He was upset by effectively the suspension, because in the wording it was, there was no mention of a suspension being able to happen. There was the ability to amend or change. And then if you were to amend or change, you had to then do a resolution for it. And if you can do a resolution on the fly, there were some questions. But after a lot of back and forth with the city attorney, Steph Stahlheim, and city mayor, Mark Janser, had to make the final rulings as the chair of the council. It was finally determined that they could not call for a suspension of the rules. And so then there was a motion brought up to effectively, again, I say effectively to oversimplify it because there was a lot happening simultaneously here. Put the item on the table and then see if Souris Valley would still be willing to take the contract back over. And then another point of order was called by Alderman Blessum, which led to Mayor Janser ruling that it was not a new issue. It would have been the same issue that was already discussed, which they already said they couldn't suspend for. And so all that they could really do at that point was either go as is and let the RFP fail, or bring the RFP back onto the table and vote for it.
Yep.
And they did, and it passed 6-1. But So what can you tell us about that RFP, Kasey? Do you know a lot about it?
I know enough. Yeah.
Enough? Okay. Because I have it pulled up here, but
Oh, do you?
I'm sure you
Okay.
you have a little bit of info on it
Yeah,
yourself.
I mean, I've read through it. There's some questions on it that I have as an organization that's looking into applying for or putting in a bid in. But essentially from before, it was one provider had to do all the services
Yep.
as one provider, and they've kind of broken it up now where. If one provider can handle cats and one provider can only handle dogs or reptiles, it's opening it up so now they can hopefully get more bids in and make it a little more competitive, and see what's in the city.
Yeah.
Going with one provider and being stuck with one provider isn't a great place to be for anything, to be honest. And,
Yeah, generally speaking, you want to have more options on the table.
Right, yeah.
And again, for the specific service that they were requesting, Service Valley was not technically the only one, but effectively the only one that could do that job. And it came to a point where I think they just wanted to start expanding out and starting to see what other places in the community can start to maybe provide some of those services.
Yeah.
And my biggest question for the whole thing is what's going to happen with the vet services going forward for the city pound?
Yeah, I think that's still a little bit in discussion.
Sure.
A lot of us as rescues, we have veterinarians that we work with on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, there's a lot of things that we can also do on our own.
Sure.
If an animal comes in and they have worms, I mean,
You can
I know what to do. Yeah, it's not difficult. So I don't need a vet to tell me, oh, you need to deworm it. I know that.
You have been there and done this long
yeah.
enough that you can take care of that.
I've seen you don't want to hear about worms. It's disgusting.
We can find better stories in a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But, oh man, I lost my train of thought. Where were we?
On the
yeah.
vet process in the new
It
pound.
sounds like they're looking to find either a vet or several that will contract essentially with the city so that they can have someone on call in case a dog gets hit by a car or something. You need immediately someone to come and either, if the dog is bleeding internally, unfortunately, you have to euthanize the animal,
Yep.
and a vet does have to do that. So those are the kind of things I think that there's concern about and want to make sure are covered so that, you don't up into a situation where you're like, what do I do? This animal's clearly suffering and I don't have anyone.
Yeah, you don't want any liability issues to pop up on
Right.
that end either. And obviously having that vet on contract would cover a lot of that.
Yeah.
And so now that RFP is going out, places in Minot are going to have a chance to put out a bid for that, whether it be for, like you said, the services for just cats, for just dogs, some kind of combination of them. And then at a city council meeting in March, they're going to come back and start discussing that next steps of those processes.
Yep.
So I think I did a good job recapping the city council meeting.
I think so.
It was short. It was only an hour and a half, but
So it felt longer in that one spot. I was like, oh, what's happening?
the first half hour was everything up until
Yeah. Yeah.
the last agenda item. And
yeah.
then that last hour or maybe 50 minutes was that agenda item. And one other thing to clarify then, at the end of the meeting, at the miscellaneous discussion parts, there was then a motion brought forward from, I think it was Alderman Blessum again, who wanted to have city staff bring back a new draft of the city ordinance to bring a little bit more clarity on the council rules, for lack of a better term.
I have to say I giggled at that.
Yeah.
They don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, well, they've something similar happened a few months back, and now we're in the situation again twice in 4 or 5 months when this
Yeah.
is something that, I can say at bare minimum in the 2 years prior to 4 months ago, it hadn't happened, and before that, I can't speak for generally, but not something you see often, and so it'll be good to see a little bit more clarity because frankly, I think it would be a good thing to have a possibility to suspend the rules if there is some extreme situation for it. Maybe something happened 2 months ago that you still have the ability to go back on that agreement with that's not fully set in stone. And you see that maybe the X company partner is falling apart. And so you need to pull out of that before it's too late to before you're already fully committed. So you could maybe possibly suspend the rules for that, get out of a really sticky situation and move on. But generally, probably not the way you want to go with it.
No. We saw what happened.
But I think having that out might be a good thing. But again, you want to make it so it's a very rare and extreme kind of situation.
Yeah, agreed.
But that was City Council on Tuesday, folks. So make sure you're ready for March 2nd will be the next one. And we'll be here live on March 3rd, 9 a.m. Minot Talk. But now let's move a little bit more into Animal Empowerment League and you, Kasey. So you guys have been around since it was 2021, right?
Yep.
What have, it's just you now, right? Because it was originally, there was a couple of you that co-founded it?
Yeah, so she's still, Lauren Rogers is the other co-founder, and she's still a part of things. There's just not as much as she was before.
Sure.
That may change in the future. But, personal life things come up and things change and everything. So, I was fine with it because, honestly, at one point, she was in the hospital, and it was bad. And I thought, oh, my God, you better not die on me. Like, how selfish of me to say, right? But
thankfully, she didn't.
She did not. She pulled through, and
she was able to pass the torch very successfully.
Oh, yeah. So, there's a few services that we had to drop because I just couldn't do it all. But for the most part, it's me from day to day.
On that note, what services do you guys provide right now?
Yeah, so our focus is specifically on where overpopulation for animals starts.
Okay.
So for cats, the biggest part of that is outdoor cats. 80% of cats are born outdoors.
Wow.
Which is, So when people say, people need to be more responsible and stuff, this is true. But there is also cats who have been outdoors for their entire lives, and now there's generations of outdoor cats. So TNR is what that's called, trap, neuter, return. A lot of times we have to relocate because there's not a caregiver in the area.
Sure.
Or there's a danger to the cats. So that's how we focus on cats. And then dogs, we have less involvement right now just because we have so much space restriction at the moment. We're foster-based only. Cats we're able to work out of our volunteer hub, which is my detached garage, which it's set up
Justin's fine with it, right?
Yeah. For the most part. Yeah. There's some days he's like, how many cats do you have? They're not coming in the house, right? I'm like,
don't worry about it.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I love it.
Bless him. Yeah.
Do you guys take any animals outside of cats and dogs at this point?
Yes and no. So there's been occasions where we didn't necessarily take the animal in, but we had the supplies for them for some reason.
Okay.
So we were able to connect. We are in good relationship with animal control. So if they need something that we can help with or support them with, we generally are able to help. The most recent strange thing was I think a turtle.
Oh, wow.
They're like, do you have a big tote
tank?
I can use? I'm like, yeah.
Sure.
I don't have a tank, but I got a tote. And they're like, okay, I need this, this, and this. I'm like, okay, well, I got 3 of those, so.
Conveniently, I happen to have this.
Yeah. But yeah, so, and I'm always up for learning, so reptiles aren't always my thing, but we now have 2 toads in the house, so I'm entering that world, yeah.
Hey, it's starting now.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I love that. So going back to the TNR a little bit.
Yeah.
When you capture a cat that's not, so obviously with TNR, a lot of those are feral animals, right?
It varies.
Okay,
so. But a lot of times, yeah.
Is there a difference between a feral cat and a domesticated cat that's living outside?
100%.
Okay, so how do you handle that?
Well, there's main things that you can look at to differentiate and tell. So, for example, outdoor cats that are used to living outdoors generally look pretty good. Sure. And a lot of people think that outdoor cats that look good are missing cats because they look good, which is actually the opposite. Cats that have been outdoors and are used to living indoors usually look like junk.
They've been through the ringer.
Yeah, they just look rough. Like their hair doesn't look that great, or fur, I should say. They might not be eating that well. They get into fights more because they're not used to sticking up for themselves like that. And some of those outdoor cats they're not nice.
A little ferocious.
They know, this is my territory and you ain't coming in.
Some of them are big.
Oh, yeah.
You got
some of those tomcats are like, we actually had to buy a bigger trap. Because I was like, if a tomcat walks into that trap, he's not going to be able to turn around.
It's too much.
He's going to be stuck forward.
He's just mad then.
Oh, yeah. But so, and then the other thing too, we look for, well, we always microchip scan all the cats. People are like, how do you microchip scan a wild cat? We have cool equipment that allows us to do that, a special scanner. And then indoor cats, sometimes you'll find are already fixed.
Sure.
So we actually worked out on a farm property in Lansford recently, and 2 of the cats we believe had been indoor
At one point.
at one point. Yeah, for the reason of the one, she looked like
A mess.
she needed to comes in and meows and she sounds like an old smoker. Like I was like,
that
oh, you poor
rasp.
thing. Yeah, it was real. She's still a little raspy, but and then the other one. So the family had spayed and neutered some of those cats up there, but it's just getting out of hand. So
There's too many at a point. Yeah.
And so they knew they had not spayed and neutered a black cat. And there was a black cat we caught. And I brought her in for surgery. And the vet calls back and says, hey, she has a space scar. Do you still want me to do the surgery? I was like, well, how confident are you that it's a space scar? I mean, it's a space scar. I'm like, don't do it. Give her a shot and let her wake up.
Clearly it's good.
Yeah. So then I called the
owners?
property owner and was like, so this one's spayed already. Do you think there's another black one out there? Oh, crap. Yeah, there probably is. So, and there was.
Lo and behold.
Yeah. And so the one that was spayed already, she didn't act the same. So a lot of times feral cats or wild cats will not make noise once you trap them. They might try to escape, but they will not. They're just dead silent. If you end up having a cat that will talk to you even a little bit, sometimes that's generally a good sign that they are social with humans. So this cat necessarily didn't make a whole lot of noise, but she, wasn't mad about things. She was just kind of reserved, and oh my gosh, she's come out of her shell so much. So
that's
we
awesome.
made the right choice with her. Yeah.
So in that same regard, then, if you have a cat that you can tell it's not feral, but it doesn't have a chip in it, are you still going to release it at the same place? Are you going to relocate it? Or if it's domesticated, are you going to try to place it with someone?
We do adoptions also, yeah. So if it's a cat that we feel is rehabilitatable and they have a good chance of having an indoor life, we will definitely put them in with our indoor cat group, if you will, and put them up for adoption.
Sure.
So yeah, we try not to send out animals that are going to be
less successful in the wild, maybe, for that fair?
And there's no reason to, really. There's plenty out there.
For fact.
If it comes to a point where you're pulling too many animals out of an area, or cats, I should say, there is something called a vacuum effect where more cats will move in. And so you're just kind of
It's such a constant game of something will fill that.
If you're able to return them, they'll kind of maintain that area, and then you just have to catch the ones that come in that are new as they die off or whatever. But
well, it's predators in a environment. It's population management for the animal world of Minot, effectively.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize this, but I think we have, and that's just probably way underestimated, but I think we have over 6,000 outdoor cats in Minot.
That's incredible. And that's on the low end, you think?
I'm positive that's on the low end.
That's incredible.
That's just based on the data we've gotten.
And this might not be a great question, but does that number fluctuate from summer and winter? Are they more, or are they just more active in the summer, maybe?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they can produce all year long.
That's true.
The difference between winter and summer is that a kitten has a better chance of surviving through summer temperatures than winter. Yeah. I don't know.
That's fair.
There's some cats that have a litter of 1 kitten, and there's some cats that have a litter of 10 kittens. So it kind of depends on how many popping out.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they can have like up to 4 litters a year or more. So like you're talking that cat that has 10 cats in a litter. She's got 40 kittens by the end of the year. Like,
that's incredible.
That's
that's people talk about breeding like rabbits. The cats have their own.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, something had to keep up with the rabbits population-wise back in the day.
I
At
suppose
some point,
that might be the explanation.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
So on top of that, you guys obviously do a lot with cats. What service? So you do fostering for dogs, right?
Yeah. So, and honestly, we used to have more fosters, but some of them have moved, so we don't have many. I'm about the only foster we have right now, so we have 3 dogs in foster.
So if anyone does want to volunteer to foster,
my husband would be be so grateful.
How do they get a hold of you?
They can reach out to our phone number. Text is the easiest, the 507-400-3221 number. Honestly, like if I'm cleaning dogs, I'm talking with people, like my phone's on silent my large majority of the day.
Sure.
Because I just can't. We would be interrupted about 15 times by now. Like it just doesn't work.
There's a lot of constant notifications going on.
And the largest thing we're able to help with dogs generally is more on the pet retention side.
Sure.
So that's the other aspect of where we keep the overpopulation down is we try to help keep animals in the home. If we're able to help spay and neuter that animal, we will. We're not right now in a financial position to do so, but
in theory, that would be something that you would like to be able to do.
Yeah, right. And we have done it in the past when we were able to, but we've gotten to the point where we have been able to take in so many animals that if we start spay and neutering the community animals, we're going to cut ourselves short for what we need to take care of the animals we have.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Especially in the space you have right now and everything. Maybe in the future, things could change.
Potentially, yeah.
And so I guess let's go down that line. We'll go for it. What do you think the future could lead for Animal Empowerment League?
Well, like I said, we are looking at applying at the new RFP.
Yep.
So, assuming, let's just say, hypothetically, that ends up happening where we're running the dog portion of it, because we won't be applying for the cats.
Okay.
We want to stick to outdoor only. So
you would continue to do the services that you provide now for the cats, but you wouldn't apply for the pound service for cats.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. The emergency plan, we have been looking to help the city with that.
Sure.
So assuming that we do end up helping them with that, that's 12 dogs we can help with now versus the 3.
Yeah.
Which is, and exponentially increasing.
4 times as many.
Yeah. Well, and
Sorry, math.
You're better at it than me, probably.
I hope I'm right.
The other portion of it, and we can get into this now if you want, is the kennel capacity for the overall city. So I'm a nerd on this stuff, so bear with me.
That's why we have you on, Kasey. We love our nerds.
Oh, I love it. So back in the 1950s to the 1970s, we had just a city pound. That was the one that was run out of the Minot Vet Clinic.
Sure.
And of course, they didn't own it, but it was contracted with them.
Sure.
So back in that time frame, we were at about 22 units for the city. And in that time frame, also, there probably were some individuals that were doing some things, but there really wasn't the rescues that we have around here now, which is...
Just culturally, I'm sure that wasn't a thing really back then.
Yeah.
Like you'd have people, I'm sure, that picked animals up and helped them, but you didn't like that. A rescue organization just wasn't really a thing then.
No, I mean, a lot of the industry has changed. Even dog kibble, like people used to say, I never got kibble. Like we just fed our dog table scraps. Sure. I was like, things change and morph and everything. So then in about 1977, the Souris Valley older building, they used to actually be located, I think, on Broadway, kind of where that Mainstays Hotel is.
Yep.
So they had 41 units.
Oh, wow.
When you include that with the pound.
Okay.
So I don't, whatever 41 minus 22 is.
Yeah, for the whole city, though, you had,
Right, yeah. And then in about 1986, Souris Valley moved to where they're at now. That
on the east side of town there.
Yeah, over by Dakota Fence.
Yep.
And that bumped us up as a city to 75 units.
Wow.
And so from 1986 till 2020, we had about 75 units in town. Then we also started seeing some rescues crop up. So I believe Hairball Haven started in 2015.
Sure.
I do not know when Four Ball Sake moved up here. They, of course, have moved now. Again, they're still kind of in the area, but they're foster-based mostly now.
Sure.
So some of those things also fluctuate as well. But then if you go to 2021, when we had the Souris Valley available space plus the city pound at Minot Vet Clinic, we actually dropped down to 56 units at that time.
Okay.
So that was somewhat of a concern. I know that some of the changes that were made to the shelter were to become into modern day standards for animal care, which is, fine. It just stinks that they ended up with less kennel capacity than they had previously.
You have to modernize and standardize some things, but also that's the downside to it. Yep.
Yeah. And, ideally, animals move faster through that kind of environment because they are less stressed.
Sure.
But, the whole nation has saw a lot of stagnation with adoptions since COVID.
Sure.
And, let me call them COVID puppies.
Sure.
They were not well socialized. And now we have animals that have some head issues, essentially.
Sure.
And so, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, that makes sense. People that got dogs or cats during
They
COVID.
couldn't socialize them very well.
No, they know their owners.
Yeah, exactly.
And their siblings from when they were little tiny babies. Mm-hmm. And until they were probably a year plus old, until they actually started meeting other dogs.
Sometimes 2.
Sure.
Or 3.
Yeah.
Some people were still scared to go
depending
out.
when you got it and the timing of it all.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we dropped down to, let's see, where was that? 2021, I think.
Yep.
So then you switch forward to when we lost Minot Vet Clinic as housing the pound, and then moving on to the Service Valley only having the pound. Then we dropped down to 34 units.
Sure.
So, that gets really crazy when you think about it. We were in 2021 with 34 units, whereas in 1977, we had 41.
Yep.
Where are we going?
This is, yeah. And obviously, aside from Minot's population increasing since then, I can guarantee you the pet population has also increased since then.
There's a number for that, too. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's 2 point something animals per person for population-wise.
Sure.
So you're talking over 100,000 animals in the city of Minot.
Exactly. Does that count fish?
Huh?
Does that count fish?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Dogs and cats specifically. That's a good question, though.
Fair.
So then, and I don't know if Haribo Haven has a higher capacity than this, but 35 units is what I heard or caught from a meeting that they can provide for cat space. We are at anywhere between 30 and 35 for cats and dogs combined.
Mm-hmm. You can work that around.
What did I say? 30 and 35?
Yep.
Sorry, 30 and 50.
Oh, okay. Depending on how you want to set it up, I'm sure you could do up to 50 cats kind of thing.
And when it comes to a TNR project or a hoarding case, we've gone up as high as 64.
Holy cow.
That is a wild time.
That's a lot. So how... We'll get to there in a second. Okay. Continue. Yeah.
So then I did hear that the Service Valley added cat kennels to the area. I don't know how many. I just have a guesstimate of 10 more spaces.
Sure.
Could be more than that. Who knows? So if we look to the future, say 2026, let's say we have Service Valley, we have Haribo Haven, we have AEL, and is that all of them?
I feel like there's
that'd be the 3.
That's a big 3. Okay.
And whatever For Belle's sake can do. I'm not sure.
Of course, because they're gone. Yep.
Yeah, they're gone, but there's a gal in town that's running foster. Yeah.
Sure.
That brings us up to around, it's an estimate because of, some things are not for sure on here, 109 units. So that brings us up higher than we were at in 1986 with the 75 units between Service Valley and Minot Vet Clinic having the pound. So that, in my opinion, that's headed in the right direction for how many animals are in the city and where we were at and where we need to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think we'll get to cost in a second.
Sure.
But at the very least, you think services are going to increase or improve for the city of Minot and Ward County from this?
I really hope so. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, council is going to be involved in making sure that happens. And I hope they go that direction because having more animals in the city and having less kennel capacity for the city than the 1950s or 1970s is a problem.
Sure.
I mean, you can...
50 years and...
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've grown and there's... Yeah, it leaves so much out there that's not getting cared for that you could do the best thing for the animals all day long and you'd just be going backwards because you just don't have enough space.
We don't need that, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah. So now the question is, for at least a lot of people in Minot, and I think even before I get to the cost, do you think this could lead to a city-operated pound service?
I think there's potential for it. There's a lot of back and forth about the cost. There's so many different, pros and cons to look at with it. If you look at North Dakota as a whole, I believe every other major city in North Dakota has their own municipal pound or shelter. And so the fact that we don't have one yet is a little mind-blowing, to be honest. But there is a cost associated with that. You know, the benefit to it is that if you're contracting out and...
Which is what Minot's been doing.
Right.
Yep.
You know, you may be having some added cost into that contract for the organization to help cover their building expenses.
Yeah.
Which are an ongoing thing, or it could be rent or who knows what. If you're building your own building, some of those may end up going lower in the future because the building is paid off or whatnot. The startup expense is going to be higher, of course.
Yeah. But so one of those, you might have to put twice the money into it at the start, but 3, 4, 5 years from then, it could be half the money of what that, contracted price would be.
Yep.
And that's just, that's not specifics at all, just kind of a general idea of how that could play out. So what kind of, right now, the city budgets, and you don't have to be specific on this at all, but the city budgets $200,000 a year for pound services.
Right.
Under the current contract. Under the new RFP, do you have any expectations of where the city would be looking at that at this point? Obviously, it's still a little early for it.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, $200,000 sounds like a whole lot of money, and it is, but...
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah. I mean, it goes fast. When you talk about you need to have staff to run that are knowledgeable in what they're doing. Like, there's a lot in the industry of animal welfare where that there's a lot of good people out there that want to do good but don't have the knowledge for it. And it's not saying that that's bad. And everyone does start somewhere, but it can create unintended consequences. For the animals.
Well, everyone knows how the road to hell was paved with the best intentions.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that can just transition over into other aspects of things too, where you have people that love animals and really want to help animals out. And so they start trying to take animals in only to figure out that maybe they don't have the experience necessary to house and facilitate that many animals.
Yeah. Or even some of the behaviors they, have.
Because unfortunately, when an animal's been dumped, lost, run away, whatever the situation is, that animal's experienced trauma in and of itself.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you have to not just gain that animal's trust back, but you have to try to reverse some of that stuff. And I can only assume if you don't have a lot of the in-depth knowledge and training skills associated with that, it's going to be a hard battle.
Yeah. It's either going to be a slower progression or it's not going to go it's not going to go the way you want.
Well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, then that leads to other unfortunate effects and consequences and stuff you never like to see happen.
Yep, exactly.
So looking back at you guys, you mentioned, and we don't need to get into specifics of the case, but more the generalities of it. You had a hoarding situation where you brought in over 60 cats. How does something like that happen?
And you mean the starts of it or what? Like...
Yes. How does that situation? I assume someone gets a couple cats, lets them breed, it expands to a degree that isn't
This particular case was in the county. It was just outside of Minot. And the crap part about that is that because they're so close to Minot, but they were in the county, they don't have, accessibility to animal control services. Not only that, but dumping is a problem in North Dakota. Like, you think, we're in North Dakota, there's less crime here. Like, dude, it happens all the time. It's bad. That's another thing we do is we trap dogs that are in survival mode. But this poor family, like, the gal was a hoot. I'll tell you what. She was hilarious. But just a lot of the animal or cats that showed up at her place were dumped.
Sure.
And she just couldn't not feed them.
Turn them away, yeah.
And that's where it gets hard because she didn't know where to turn to. And some of the animals she had been able in the past to get into some facilities, I'm not sure where, but it just, if they don't get fixed, like it becomes
multiplied.
Yeah, exactly. So
this is a real life effect of that multiplication status of the cats that we were talking about, and also the paving of the road.
Yeah, and so she didn't have much to turn to. A neighbor that was concerned actually called into another organization, which is how we got contacted. And we just started going for it. I mean, it's one of those things you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go for it and we'll...
Got to dive in.
Yeah. So we did. There was another volunteer that was helping get them transported over to the rescue and stuff. We had to buy extra tables. We had to buy extra traps. We had them like double decked. And I'm sure those videos are not on Facebook anymore because they did like a 30-day.
Yeah. We found that out too.
Yeah. Yeah. I originally was going to try to move them over to YouTube, and I was like, you know what? I don't have time for this.
Or maybe not.
Yeah. I tried, but I stopped. So yeah, I mean, we had a lot. But then the biggest part of it was that the cats, a lot of them were not socialized because they were with the one person, and you can't socialize that many cats.
All that cat socialization is getting that's the hand that feeds it effectively.
Yeah. So a lot of them did get transferred out to barn homes, and they were used to being in and out, some of them. So, we kind of assess each one, seeing how their behavior is and if they talk to us and that kind of thing. And we, in about, the project took probably 2-3 weeks.
Holy.
I think it might have been longer. I can't remember, honestly. It's a blur. But the cats, once you have a cat in a trap, you cannot keep it in that trap any longer than 7 days.
Okay.
You can care for a cat in a trap.
But also, you have to be mindful of...
Yeah. You have to... Mindful of what? Sorry.
I guess limits on that, too. You can't keep it in that cage for too long.
Right. Yeah. And we've had that instance before. Like, okay, we can't get them in for surgery soon enough, so we're going to have to put them into a different accommodation. But the trap works really well, especially when they're going in for surgery in a day or two, and then they can heal, and they can't jump around.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And then they get released, and they're like,
it's amazing.
It's really fun to watch them come out, actually. Yeah. So, I mean, the poor gal, she just had so many.
It just spiraled.
It was. So, and I don't know. She did keep a few of them, 3 to 5. I don't remember exactly. And they were all fixed. So,
should be okay at that stage.
I hope so.
Yeah. But that's not the only situation like that you've had either, right?
No.
We don't have to dive into them specifically, but this is a more common thing than people would expect.
100%. Yeah. Then we did the 64 cat one in 2024, like end of 2024, and then the same winter. But the next year, 2025, we dove into a 50 cat project.
Jeepers.
Yeah.
It keeps you busy then.
Oh, yeah.
And so for all of those animals that need to be spayed and neutered, obviously, does the vet, I guess I won't say obviously, does the vet do it for free, or do you have to? So how?
Don't we wish?
How do you guys pay for that then?
We run on donations only. So
okay. How can someone donate then?
Good question. I'm always thrown off by that because I'm so into the details.
Sorry, yeah, I train.
Totally fine. We do have a PayPal. We have Venmo. You can send a check in to the address.
You're very open for donations then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah. The more we get for donations, it just pushes us further. We actually have had a time frame, and we're figuring out if we're still in that or not based on where things go in the future, where we've been on intake hold, unless you can donate what our average cost is per cat.
Sure.
And we've had some people who have, so we've been able to keep doing things, but it really sucks when you have to tell someone, hey, I need $250 to take a cat in because I can't care for it otherwise.
At a certain point, you're maxed out yourself. You are. There's a cap that any person and any facility and company can go.
If only money grew on trees.
If only. Well, it's paper's wood, right? That's close enough.
We wish. We wish.
But so on top of cats, you guys also trap dogs, you said, too. And what is it like trapping a dog versus trapping a cat?
Much more involved.
Sure.
So trapping cats is definitely involved. But
it's a lot more passive, wait and see kind of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of quiet time. A lot of quiet time for dog catching, too. But dog catching, you really have to get them into a schedule or routine almost. Mine has been wonderful about dog trapping. We've tried to do it on base, and unfortunately it wasn't as
easy.
Yeah. Maddox figured out, back in 2021 is when we caught our first dog. We called him Lost Boy. Yeah.
I love it.
His name is Albert now.
Albert, I love it.
And he's with a really good gal. He's adopted, so we get to get updates on him. But we started because one of my good friends and mentors, Monica Heathbros, she lives in Alaska now.
Sure.
She got us started into it and showed us what a missy trap was and all these other things. And it's cool. It's so cool. Like when you start showing people, like, how does that work? And like, oh, it's like a garage door opener, and then they trip it and it just shuts the door. And you're like, what?
So this is the thing that the dog catcher from Lady and the Tramp could have only dreamed of.
Well, maybe, yeah. Oh,
So you don't just have a giant net that you're going swinging trying to...
No. Yeah, these dogs are in survival mode.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of times they won't even walk up to their own owners.
At that point, yeah.
Right. And we have had it where some people walk out with their other dogs. Monica could probably explain this better than I, but they will walk up to a dog they know faster than an owner they know. Yeah. There's been a lot of dogs where like, okay, we're going to deploy the missy trap, and then they walk into a business. And we're like, did you hear us say that? Like,
it's like they knew.
Yeah, we joke about that. By 2023, we caught about 13 dogs,
That's awesome.
or were participated in some way, and we kind of stopped counting after that. So
It's just been
I don't know what we're at now, but
just keeps going.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
What have been, so obviously we've talked about a lot of the successes of you guys.
Sure.
Has there been some cases where maybe it's a little less successful and the outcome isn't what you want it to be?
For dog trapping?
Specifically, I think the dog that we're seeing around online right now.
Yep. Yes. There's been 3 cases that we've had trouble with.
Sure.
One of them, the dog was from Oklahoma, and there were some other details with that where it got chased out of town, I think, and we were never able to find her again. The one specifically going around now is about Luffy.
Yep.
And Luffy went missing from a boarding kennel down on Valley Street area. And the peculiar thing about his case is that any case we've had sightings. Even the 2 before that we had trouble with and we didn't end up catching the dog, we have not had any sightings that have been confirmed of Luffy.
Okay.
And so that really starts to get you thinking, like, what exactly happened?
What's going on here?
Yeah.
And so have you had just no sightings, period, or just no sightings you've been able to confirm?
None that we could confirm was Luffy.
Sure.
So we've had lots of sightings. We're up to like 24 or something, I think.
And you've had a lot of those that you were actually able to confirm as other dogs.
Correct.
Sure.
About 20 of them, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the owner of this case has been amazing. They've done a large majority of the work, which usually we step in and help with a lot of it, but they've been, I think it's helping them cope, to be honest.
Because it's been about 2 months now, you said, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, December 18th. Or
Sure.
December, whatever.
Yeah.
Close enough,
And
17th, 18th.
We're really right about that 2-month mark right now,
Yep.
unfortunately. And
Yep.
we've had tough winter, but we also had some times in there where it was really nice for a few weeks.
I mean, yeah,
And
the 50-degree thing, like, that was amazing. And, you know, say Luffy's running around, like, there's no reason he shouldn't have been running around in that temperature.
at least a sighting would have occurred. You
Something.
would have thought.
Yep.
Yeah. And so then, of course, you don't have to, but we love to, maybe Jonathan doesn't. I love to speculate on the show every once in a while.
Oh, there's been speculation.
And that this case obviously leads to an abundance of that. Did something happen to the dog immediately upon getting out where unfortunately it wasn't able to survive? Did the dog just not survive in the first place? Is something else going on behind the scenes?
Right.
Did someone take the dog and we don't even know? I mean,
Right.
there's a plethora of things that could have happened in the situation at that point.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ideas and thoughts, and
So if someone does see Luffy or thinks they see Luffy, what's the best thing to do?
contact us. Don't chase him. Do not chase him. That will just, it'll make him go away, essentially.
It would make things worse at this
Yeah.
point.
Dogs in survival mode, they just don't respond well to that type of thing. There's nothing you could feed them or anything from your hand that would convince them to come to you. So the biggest thing is to like get a picture, get a video, and send the info into us or Luffy's owner, which is on our Facebook.
Perfect. Well, we have dove into a lot. And we don't want to end on that note.
No.
So what are some of your favorite things about working, and not just working, but running AEL?
Oh boy. Honestly, everything's different every day. Like that's one of the biggest things for me. It's hard to put into words it's really rewarding working with the animals, to be honest. Like,
as long as I've known you, you've loved animals.
yeah.
I've known you for a while now
Yeah.
too. So
I've been in the industry for, I think, 14 years now.
Sure.
So, and I started out with fostering only and learned things from veterinarians and stuff. But, I mean, hundreds of thousands of animals later, it's crazy what you end up learning. But I don't know. I do. It is, a lot of people in the animal industry say that they love animals, but more than people. And I mean, I can agree to that to some extent, but there's a lot of loving people you have to do too. Because there's some animals you can't reach if you don't. So, it's interesting. As much as you say you like speculation, there's I don't watch TV really.
Sure.
Like, all the drama I need is literally like in my life. Like,
and the best part,
Yeah.
I assume it's external drama still.
oh God, I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm the drama, please tell me. I do not want to be the drama. Yeah,
I love it.
I just get to watch it all.
See,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's the best
exciting.
part.
Yeah.
Is watching that third-party drama. Being a
Yeah.
part of it, no, not so
Yeah,
much. But
I'll watch it from afar.
well, Kasey, thank you so much. We always like to let our guests end on the show here. So is there anything that we didn't go over or anything that you want to mention or leave our guests with on a good note before we end here?
Gosh. Thanks for doing real life rescue with us.
Of course. Hey, if you ever need someone to come out there and film it, I'll try.
Oh, heck yeah.
I don't think I'll be good, but I'll try.
You'll be better than me.
I know how to work a mobile mic and a camera, so
Yeah,
we
that's
can
good enough.
finesse it.
Yeah.
Well, Kasey, thank you so much for taking the time to do this today. It's been a pleasure. And once more, before we leave, where can anyone, if they want to donate, if they want to follow you along, where's the best place to do
Yeah,
so?
Facebook is where we're most active. Animal Empowerment League is the name. And if you have questions, you can text me 507-400-3221.
Perfect. You got that down.
I do.
Well, Kasey, thank you again so much. And thank you to everyone for watching. Appreciate you all. Make sure you leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, all the things. And be ready for an interview that Jonathan had with District 3 Representative Jeff Hoverson to come out in the next couple days. And then guess what? Jonathan's back next week, so I don't have to produce anymore. And you know what? I went through 3 episodes without breaking anything, and everyone could hear me, so I think this is a win.
Success.
So, exactly. So thank you, Kasey. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and you all have a great rest of your day.